because the panel discussion is all about leading the world by making in India. How our metering it stack can be world leading, ensuring all component work seamlessly. The moderator for the panel discussion is Mr. Siddartha Keshavadasu, Associate Director, Power Sector Advisory, Nangianxt. And our panelists are 6 in numbers: Mr. Sanjay Kaushal, Global Chief Information Security Officer, Orbit India; Mr. Pranjal, Tyagi, Business Head, Cloud for Things Technologies; Ms. Sharanbir, Vice President, Utilities, Accenture; Mr. NITHIN K. David, Chief Design Officer, Oakter, RIOT Labz Private Limited; Mr. RAJIV, GOYAL, CEO and whole-time Director, EKI, Power Trading Private Limited; Mr. Sumit Gupta, CEO and Managing Director, Assetplusconsulting. To tell you a little about everyone, let's begin with the moderator. Mr. Siddartha Keshavadasu is an energy sector professional with about 10 years of very rich experience in e-mobility, renewable energy, power sector reforms and restructuring and regulatory affairs. Currently, he is also supporting Kerala government as member in the subcommittee on solar other renewable sources as a part of drafting Kerala power policy. He is currently pursuing his PhD and expected to complete the same by March 2025. He has written numerous papers in renowned journals, including that of energy policy. Mr. Sanjay Kaushal is an action-oriented leader with over 22 years of cyber consulting, pre-sales, solution, delivery, SOC experience. Sanjay manages large and complex transformation programs and has served many large and marquee clients both India and globally. Ms. Sharanbir, in professional dimension of her life, she essays the role of advanced metering expert and has worked for multiple assignments in the transformational journey of power sector in India, like smart metering, government advisory, due diligence, technical consultancy, digital services, etc. In her personal space, she loves spending time in community services and she values trust, respect, and freedom in all spheres of life. Prior to her current association with Accenture, she has been engaged with the organizations like IntelliSmart, Ernst & Young, and RICO. Mr. Rajiv Goyal is having 28 plus of very rich work experience in power distribution sector. He was consultant to chairman and MD in UPPCL at Lucknow. He was associated with the prepayment meter project at NDPL, first in India by Secure Meters. First time in India, he tested AMR system. An engineer and an LLB by education. He is advising as consultant to many clients in green energy adoption, cinch of green energy generation with use of power by consumers and utilization of smart meter India. Mr. Pranjal Tyagi is very excited to share his extensive expertise in smart metering and utility management as a speaker at the 4th Smart Meter Summit 2024. With over 5 years of hands-on experience, he has dedicated his career to advancing technological solutions that enhances operational efficiency, reduce energy losses, and promote sustainability in the energy sector. He is enthusiastic about contributing to the Smart Meter Summit. As a speaker, he looks forward to share his knowledge and experiences and his vision for a smarter, more efficient energy future with fellow industry leaders and innovators. Mr. NITHIN K. David graduated in 2006 from the MDes Industrial Design Program at IIT Delhi and holds a BTech in electronics. He started his industrial design career with Desmania Designs Private Limited from 2006. NITHIN is passionate about product development and AMP and is obsessed with objects that interact with humans and how they shape the world. His design philosophy is anchored on mass manufacturability of products as much as aesthetics and usability. Mr. Sumit Gupta, 25 years across large conglomerates and consulting firms in diverse set of roles like strategy and solution development, practice building and business transformation across energy and utility sector. With 80 Kearney team have driven business transformation and strategy implementation for India's largest E and U major. He has piloted some key strategic initiatives in this sector on smart grid and energy management with analytics as key components. Can we invite our moderator and all the panelists on the stage? Let's give them a thunderous round of applause as this is the concluding panel discussion to Smart Metering Summit 4th edition, day 2.
Thank you all. Thank you, respected panelists. Thank you, Aayera, and thank you, Nabil. So, see, this panel discussion, we have got to know where we stand, what are the challenges, and now way forward on how we take this experience and these learnings of the smart meter ecosystem and take it to the world, like echoing the concept of being a Vishwa Guru, which is widely accepted in the country. So let us focus this discussion on what are the learnings, how do we scale them, and considering the concepts of cost, sensitivity in the Indian consumers and all. So to start with, Sanjay Kaushal ji, so with your experience in cyber consulting, digital transformation, what do you think is the role of cyber security, the acceptance of consumers with the growing concerns on the privacy aspects, data being out with respect to every bulb we on, probably AC we on and all. So, and how do we ensure that our IT stacks are safe and we can scale it up?
Okay. So to be very honest, if we see a journey from last 5 years and 10 years, so we were like the smart metering was not up to the cyber security controls. The way in like 10 years and 5 years the journey where we are building a smart metering with the cyber security, and basically if I say that in the digital transformation journey is a valuable contribution in terms of make the user life easier with the cyber security. So okay, now these days whatever meetings we are building it and the trusted platform module where the data security also involved into it. Data security plus making user life easier, like the online bill pay, plus the UPI, you can connect with your mobile app and monitoring power consumption, the online pay, plus data security which is smart meter is communicating towards the NMS completely, where we can have the load distribution centers and then what is exactly the load required for area to area. So cyber security is from the scratch to like RSA authentication, the TLS, where we are securing the user data, as Mr. Dinesh ji said, DPDP and the GDPR. So we also follow the compliance of cyber security and encrypting data end to end with the user informations. We have their debit card information, their credit card information. That's a valuable information. And if you're talking about the Make in India journey towards the smart metering solutions, we are going in the speed of the fight more than the fighter jet. And definitely if I say the Microsoft run by the Indian people, as we know the major stake of in the Microsoft is the Indian. So the cyber attack was also, if I say the journey of Make in India, Made in India is like we are now fourth, the top targeted country for to steal the data of our R&D, research, development and all things. So definitely we are the fastest growing country across the globe.
Right. And what about the cost sensitivity aspect? Because when cyber security, it's another layer of infrastructure,
right,
another layer of costs and all. So how do we balance that?
So definitely there is a cost. When we're talking about the cost is something with a formula. If you are putting efforts, time, plus the features and functions which you are giving to the customers, and the security of their things. So this cost definitely is optimized, because if I'm going from traveling to one location to another location to pay the bill, so there is a cost. So plus definitely everything is automated. So automation with the digital transformation is, somebody says the isolation, interoperability, integrity, and the UPI, you can pay the bills and all things. So this awesome, the journey with the digital transformation with the smart metering.
mean, with this latest outage issue which the Microsoft have faced,
Right.
you know, my wife specifically asked me to raise this point. If something like that happens, I will be facing a blackout at my place?
Okay, so this come with the business continuity and disaster recovery. What you plan it in terms of the mean time to restore, mean time to repair, and the recovery point objective. But we lost it.
Great, great. Thank you, Sanjay. We'll get back to you based on you know, the responses of the other panelists as well. I would like to move on to Sharanbir ji. So, you know, you are the leader. Probably you are handling six states, 6 RDSS projects in the country. So, probably you might have dealt across the states, probably one of the most technically advanced, probably technically not so advanced states. So, what are the challenges you see and how you have addressed it in the journey of those 6 states?
Sure. Siddartha, thanks for having me here. Thanks to you and Aayera for conducting this valuable session. So, as you mentioned, Accenture is already doing AMI system integration under RDSS for more than 6 states and with various AMISPs. And if you talk about the challenges from system integration or from software customization perspective, we try to focus on products which are global in nature. For example, because we are talking about scalability, we are talking about a diverse country where we'll have to, where mass rollouts are happening. So scalability and global products we see as a must in this industry. But when we try to bring in those global products, those are more, developed toward the global requirements. Now to create the localization on those global products, there are a lot of stuff. And lot of customization is there. That is a basic point which everyone understands that, okay, we are coming up with a product, so customization would be there. But to control that level of customization, there are a lot of things which need to be done at the national level. For example, though we are talking about technology and we are talking about the softwares, but the customization also depends that what kind of data is coming to that software. Now, our smart meters or the IS standards of today's smart meters in India are more towards the post-paid features. But if we talk about our government schemes, they start with the word prepaid. They don't say smart meters, they say prepaid smart meters. But if we see our standards, they are not more pro towards the prepaid thing. Now, because the meters or the device is not very pro for the prepaid, you have to do all that customization in the software. So basic customization was okay, but now because that customization level to achieve the prepaid and similar functionalities, those customization has to be done, which I think should be limited with the revised guidelines. So this is one from the customization point of view. Product customization is fine. Every product has to be customized, but customize only towards the features and functionality of that base product. But if using one product, we are trying to achieve features which should be otherwise coming from other landscape devices, should be limited. So I think what we see as an Accenture from current ongoing projects is that a lot of deliberations need to be done in the standards so that we can have that overall prepaid kind of functionality achieved in this.
Got it. So in one of the morning sessions by Mr. Rajesh Bansal, ex-CEO BSCS.
Right.
So he was basically, explaining how the Western concepts on the user interface of this smart meter portal or smart meter screen, what we see, dashboard, do not probably work in India, because in US probably you will get a statement that, now the cost of electricity is high, reduce your AC consumption, probably something like that. But in India we do not like that. Even we don't even answer talk to the customer care executive when someone says that they are calling from XYZ bank. So India probably we need some different set of instructions or different set of consumer experience. So what about the customization on those parts?
So this is, you're referring to TOU, time of
Right.
use, right? So again, if we talk about, this has to come from meters also. Our meters, in today's meters, which we are calling smart meters, TOU is more aligned toward the, because your TOU value you're getting at the end of month. And this is more relevant for the postpaid meters.
Right.
Right? Now when you have to go for prepaid, this TOU value should come to your systems on daily basis.
Right.
Right? So that is one limitation that, okay, that again need to be done at the meter level. And second is about the UI. UI, I personally feel, is the easiest way, because UI is just your interface to get information or data which is lying in your systems. So we'll have to work on the information which is currently available on the systems. If we want to educate our consumers, which is the main, one of the main purpose of this program also, that
Great.
customer satisfaction or consumer advanced facilities should be there, and UI being the first thing, because UI for me is not the web portal but the mobile app which is in
Yes.
everybody's hand, right? So UI as a product is the simplest thing, but the data which has to be posted on that UI need to be there, and that is possible. It is not that it is available globally and it can't be here. It is all the policies or the tariffs which need to be relooked. And I think while we are talking here, I have seen that in multiple forums that a lot of work is already being done on these concepts, that how we can do that. And today also, though it is not available in our IS standards, this is being achieved through the more customization of the meter data management system.
Right.
They're trying, if they are getting monthly data, it is being converted into daily data. But again, converting monthly into daily by some mathematical formula doesn't give you a real-time information.
True.
Real-time is real-time.
Yes.
So I think those kind of baselining or data or the policies will ultimately help us in achieving our journey. And I think all people are working toward that.
Great. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, and we'll again get back to you.
Thanks.
Coming to the tariff and policy parts, we would like to listen from RAJIV GOYAL sir. Sir, you have worked with UPPCL. You have also was instrumental in the NDPL's first prepaid smart meter systems. As a utility, as a DISCOM, what are your sensitivities? How exactly you approach the regulator in terms of my total cost? Because at the end of the day, most of our DISCOMs, we are cost deficit. But then we are going for a DISCOM telling that I want to spend more and the cost is very high. And then what are the challenges in the entire supplement, the start concept to commissioning stage? So want to hear from you, sir.
Thank you. I am Rajiv Goyal from EKI Energy. So we are mostly in the carbon credits, and we are also doing the power trading. So coming to your questions. So in the whole scheme of this smart metering, one of the most important constituent here is the regulator. And what I am observing from the ecosystem, that not many discussions are happening with the regulators in the state or on the central level. No, the advantage of the smart meter which we are saying is, in the DISCOM perspective, if I see, these are the same kind of the electromechanical meter where our person used to go and take the reading. Today, you are saying that you will bring the readings online, real-time basis, so something like that. But what do I do with this real-time basic data? So, although there can be developments in terms of, like I can use this data for finding out my distribution peaks in the network, in the system, in the transformer, and I can design those kind of systems using some network analysis softwares. The second may be that my biggest expenses as a DISCOMs are 70 to 80% cost is today power procurement. And if I am able to reduce that power procurement cost, so somewhere the cost of this smart meter can be justified. But how it can happen? It can happen only when I am able to charge my consumers a tariff which is in reflection of the market rates of the power. And for that purpose, there has to be the time of the day metering, or maybe 10 time of the day slots, or 5 slots, or 4 slots, whatever it is, but even up to the domestic customers. So, and that is possible only when, then again it is like today if you are going to the regulator, they will say that how you will do that because you don't have so many smart meters. The moment you will go for 100% smart meters, you will be entering into somewhere 2029. So, what will happen to all investment during this period? It will all go, wastage. So, point here is that we should go to the regulator and ask them that to provide a window of the, a tariff for consumers who have already been come into the smart meter, so that we can actually pass on that benefit to the consumers, and we can also reduce the power purchase cost of the DISCOM. The another thing is that installation. So installation of the smart meter, I mean, generally no one is asking or talking in the industry. What happens, there are two parameters. One is the DISCOM's, network, DT and the lines, and the another is the smart meter. Now, no smart meter is coming up, no MSP is putting up a smart meter with the MCB or, breaker or something like that. So what will happen, almost 30-40% distribution network is in a very, faulty kind of conditions. The small weather changes and it start tripping a lot. So what will happen, that any DT failure or any, line fault, this all will come to the smart meter and this will go faulty, and the onus will be on the AMISP to replace it free of cost. So this is going to increase a lot of cost. So they must actually, when they are doing the CI, they should also inform the DISCOM to, repair those network or make a system that the network remains healthy all the time. The second is that, like, for a consumer, whether you are putting this meter, that meter, any meter, they do not mind it. Although people say that many consumer, refuse to get a meter change, but last 20-25 years, I am also seeing meters are ultimately get installed. In fact, there are many consumer representatives who are saying it is a scheme of the meter manufacturers to replace meters after every 3, 4, 5 years, so that nowhere in the system they can, honor the 10-year, 5-year kind of guarantees. So as far as any consumer who is paying, they don't have any issue. If they are doing any tampering, they are not paying, they also do not have any issue, because for them also situation remains same. So it all basically depends on the smart meter companies who are putting up, because this time the property is with them, and there are companies who are putting up almost 5,000 crore rupees, 2,000 crore rupees, 8,000 crore rupees, and if they are not able to display that or exhibit that they have actually, able to reduce their cost, or, the project cost is, because if they are, DISCOM is investing say 5,000 crore rupees, they would like to save at least 50,000 crore rupees. And if they are not able to show this kind of results to the regulator, so as you said, the regulator is not going to pass on this cost to the, DISCOM, and there will be litigation between the DISCOMs and the AMISP, and the net result, you always know that the way power plants had entered into NPA, they will also enter into NPA. So this is my, small understanding and opinion on this entire ecosystem.
Thank you for the great insights on, the consumer opinion on the meter manufacturers scam probably.
No, sorry, it's not a scam. It's basically, it's a technology. It's developing every other day. So, because I have been working for 20 years in the metering side also. So every innovation whichever has come, it had solved certain problems which had crept into the system. So, we should actually be very happy that it's only India where the meters are so robust and, so technological driven. Otherwise, you will not find such kind of meters anywhere in the world.
Right. So again, we'll come back to you on how do we take this experience global. Now, let us move to Mr. Pranjal Tyagi. See, you are involved in advanced technological solutions, IoT, AI based and all these things. So my first question is, now we have MCBs with one switch targeting AC, one switch targeting fridge, something like that. And when the smart meter comes in, so definitely my point-to-point metering gets fed into the smart metering system. So in these aspects come in, how exactly, how well we integrate this, and what are the current solutions, what are the gaps which we have, and how well we can enhance the user experience in terms of, probably morning Mr. Rajesh Goyal has made one more interesting point. Probably if we could have some alert system in our mobile, that probably your AC is on but it is not efficient or it is very old. So how well are we equipped to get this updates or this system in place?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Well, I belong to a company called Cloud for Things, and we are basically a digital utility platform. So the question you asked, we are already doing such kind of things. So I would like to share my experience regarding that. So right now, the entire country is shifting to smart meters, and it's very near that when we would be calling a 100% smart meter enabled system. But what we are extracting out of a smart meter is very limited to in the current scenario. Smart meter itself is a mini computer. We can extract a lot of data out of it. But the thing is, the current system is basically driven through a legacy framework and the old age approach to the metering system, where the meters take control of the entire billing and entire power distribution. But as we are moving in the IoT field and in the technology field, the system should be a data-driven and platform-owned system, where the platform should take control of the smart meter and it should extract the maximum juice out of the smart meter. There are such analytics that a smart meter can provide regarding the power consumption, regarding your energy use patterns. So we have done a POC kind of setup in Gurgaon, where we are basically sensing the energy consumption through our smart meter, where we are giving end user alerts where your energy appliance like AC or geyser or anything is malfunctioning based on the patterns of its energy uses. And we are also giving them the alert that this particular device is requiring a preventive maintenance because its power factor has gone off, its current and voltage ratings has gone off. And similar application we have done in industries as well, where we are putting our entire smart metering stack, and it's a primary requirement of Industry 4.0 as well, where we need to evaluate every machine based on its current consumption and its power factor penalties it can attract. So yes, with the innovation in the smart metering infrastructure and with all the meters turning into a smart meter, there are a lot of analytics one can basically derive out, and it can improve the energy efficiency of end user, and it could improve the power factor quality and the power quality of the infrastructure as well. So you are right, absolutely, we can basically fetch a lot of analytics, and it can help the end user save a lot of amount from the energy bill as well, and a lot of amount in the preventive maintenance of such equipments.
Great. I mean, with this response, again, I would like to go to our first panelist. With this kind of minute or granular information, now I receive calls from banks for personal loan. Now will I also get calls from refrigerator manufacturers and AC manufacturers also? How will the privacy and how consumers' privacy is ensured?
Okay, in terms of data encryptions, when I say end-to-end, when the number one is integration of AI ML is very important. As I say, with the smart metering software and then how the software acted. Plus, when we taking a data from the smart metering, okay, so the data is traveling towards the network management system and the dashboarding. So they should travel the information in a secure way, like the TLS from encryption algorithms. So data can be, plus data can also use for the analytic purpose. Like if I'm logging with my API and in my application, it should show the entire consumer data, which can be the encrypted form. Right. How the data is stealing from data sniffing. Second thing also, we need to be improve our technology in terms of smart metering. So meter can be accessible from anywhere on the app, which is on the TLS plus RSA and other encryption algorithms.
Right. Great. So you mean to say we have adequate systems in place?
Definitely, plus more research is required in terms of the use cases. Example, if I put the IP address and my smart meter on the Wi-Fi, so cyber attack definitely will be the more on the smart metering. Someone can take it down. Is like major attack happening on the past with the grid was down even though.
Right.
So some kind of attack is also required more monitoring, more trusted platform module in terms of the ICs, in terms of the data protection, like intrusion prevention system. Plus user information anyhow is important because of we follow the regulations in the DPDP. If data got breached, there is a penalty of 10,000 to 250 crore based on the data breach. Plus data provider also, like whoever is managing the complete smart metering, they are also taking the data, the service provider. They should also ensure that data is protected and all the why we are storing the customer data and what the use of the customer data for the analytic and all things. So somebody should not take it entire information from the outside because now ISA says in a cyber attack, we are on a third target from 18 now our number is the third. So everything is like attack, whatever R&D research we are doing it, we are on target of the China, Russian hacker, American hacker. So that is our patent, that is our technology, what we are doing it, what we are today because of all of you. And we should give kudos to everyone. So everyone is efforts to the technology, building the technology. There is a reason we are the fastest growing country in the world. Contribution from you, all these people, I think we should claim for all of us because we are fastest growing company and you guys are, credit goes to you guys.
We'll move on to NITHIN. So when you are working on industrial design, product development and all. So yesterday I had a couple of discussions with the private discoms. So there one of the pain point is that even if they adopt smart meter systems and all, if the discom guys are not equipped on using their data, in fact basic data which you receive from the system, if the date is fixed to default, probably the year would come as 00000999 and something like that, and probably after 2 years you don't know the data pertains to which year. So the data user is discom, data consumer and user probably consumer also, and then the smart meters service providers or meter manufacturers are only service providers. So here how do you bridge the gap on the readiness of the discoms as well as the readiness of the end employee of ours who actually face the discom, and then how do you bridge this gap? Where exactly are we?
Yeah, I'm not very clear of exactly what part of the interaction you're talking about between the discom and the service provider. But yeah, see, as in any large scale projects that need to be implemented, your SLAs and your requirements being in place is one of the key things before you actually deploy a product, right? So, as a manufacturer, you need to have a complete kit of information about what are the features required, what are the error tolerances that are required, and those are the points at which you start building on things also. Of course, there are always unexpected, results of certain actions. But I think transparency and clarity between what requirements are and what are the guidelines to be followed, and tight adherence to these from the manufacturer's end, so that you are providing a high quality, well tested product. And that is where these conflicting points can actually be addressed. And also I think it has a lot to do with as it was mentioned here, what is the data that is required by the consumer and what is the data that the discom needs. And as it was mentioned earlier about the UI bits of it, do consumers really need the level of data that we probably believe that they need, right? US is a very, very different kind of environment where they thrive on granular data. Before they get out of their houses, they are looking at, the weather for the next 2 hours before they figure out if their kids are going out to the games. But we don't work like that, right? For us as a consumer, what is my expectation from my energy meter? It is that I should not be paying more than I should, right? This is what I should be paying. I just want to make sure as an energy consumer that I am not being looted by, the discom. And what does the discom want from the meter? They want to make sure that, the consumers are not stealing from the, or paying less for the energy that you're providing. And at the most basic level, this is the requirement from a smart meter, that there is, both sides of the provider as well as the consumer both get to trust this system and say that, okay, fine, I am paying for what I'm using, and the discom is happy that, you're paid for what you're providing. And at the basic level, I think just making sure that systems are trustable, which includes all of these points, right? Like be it data encryption, be it UI, be it the information that is being provided in real time about like, see, this is the future of the technology, right? I mean, I get an alert saying that my air conditioner probably is like, faulty without me having to like have a separate device installed it, because we started our life as an organization trying to improve efficiency of air conditioners. So these are things that will eventually get there. But fundamentally, as users, we want to install something and forget about it, right? And same thing about the guy who's installing on the field. They want to install the device, set it up, and leave it at that. You don't want to give, service to something that's designed to last, for as long as the service life exists. The discom doesn't want you to call you for service either. So we all want devices that just go out in the field, sit there, do their jobs. Consumers just get their monthly trustable billing. Or trustable alerts, discoms get trustable reading from it. And I think that is the basic requirement from it.
So in India, you have two sets of consumers, one who appreciates service and one who is cost sensitive.
Right.
So when the product design...
I think all are cost sensitive. I think everybody in this country is cost sensitive.
Then in that case, then what kind of thought process goes on when the product is being designed in terms of user interface point of it?
Yeah, so again, see, one of the basic principles of like design is that, it has to be driven by the end user. So, I mean, and the end user is everybody from, the home consumer to the installation guy, to the systems that are fetching data from your device, the discoms itself. So, all design decisions need to be taken based on what is the user experience supposed to be. It's always about, what it's supposed to do, how it's supposed to feel.
Great. So now let us take to the second part of it. So how do we take our experience to the global arena? So what are those points which we are advanced? We are not actually copying what the other Western countries have already done it. What is it something which we are doing new? And how we can replicate it to the countries, probably South Asia, Southeast Asia, Africa and Middle East. So starting with any of you, probably.
I think generally I'll just seed this, discussion with the fact that like, we are a fundamentally low trust society, right? I mean, we are expecting theft and pilferage at every point. And so I have a feeling our systems, whatever we build in India is one already designed for, a extreme amount of tamper protection. We have to think about every way in which it will be misused. And secondly, we design for scale, right? I mean, we are a large number of people, and everything that we deploy in a mass scale in this country is like beyond what like entire continents, handle in numbers. So I think India already has an advantage when it comes to like building robust things, because we are scared of like, them breaking, and two, scale, because we need to deploy in large numbers. And I think these are the learnings that we can take to the world.
Great.
I think in my opinion, metering is something which already the Indian companies have gone abroad, for last 15-20 years, and in many of the countries, I've heard that like in one conference in Bangkok that people in some Malaysia, I mean, they were saying that we have installed secure. So, I mean, they have changed the name of the meter to the secure. So, if this is the level of our, maturity in terms of the metering, so we are already there. But again, the point here is that we are going to have 25 million meters, and probably we have not gone more than some 5 or 6 million as of now. So, a huge learning we have to take in terms of the tariff and how this product can actually be commercialized. So as of now, we are, the way we used to treat the meter, we are only, replacing a meter and thinking in the same manner. So like telecom, so they have, today you don't have to pay anything additional if you are using it for say your college, or if you are using it for shop. So why it should not happen in the electricity also? So why we have to, put so much of mind on and, so much of logics that for a discom it has to be like this, for a shop it has to be like that, because electricity generation cost is same, the distribution methodology is same. Why we have defined this categories only just because we think that from a commercial he is earning something more, so we take some money from him and give it to the discom pity. So then why the job of the finance minister, she is also doing the same. So if every study start doing the same thing, that's not logical. So we have to actually in our ecosystem start talking into that. I mean, maybe if we cannot make it one category, at least one or two, well, two or three category we should, restrict it to one. The second is that as far as our learnings are concerned for the global level. So globally a lot of things are happening in the power market, and power market in India, I mean, it's still, kind of a nascent stage where short-term power trade is lesser than 5%. And the policies now says that even if a consumer is having say 10 connections in a division, which the total is 100 kilowatt, they can take the power from the generator directly. So such kind of things are going to happen, and for that purpose, a smart meter is a device which is going to catalyze that policy to happen and make it successful. So when we are designing the smart meter, we have to take all those learning of the regulations. So it is very much necessary that whosoever is developing the apps or some product from the services, they should have someone on their board as a consultant, as an employee, as an advisor, whosoever it is, to learn for all the applicable regulations in the power sector and to kind of converging those regulations into this metering device, because then only the real advantage to the consumer and to the discom will happen. The regulator will also be able to see the value out of it, and this market can mature and grow a little faster. Thank you.
Sanjay.
Yes, please.
Yeah, same question. How do we take this to the global?
So definitely, when I say the global, we need to be take care of one thing. The digital transformation is a one journey, number one. So we need to think about number one is the guy who is sitting in the metro, the tier 2 cities, and we should think about the guy who is sitting in the villages also. Still they are using the mobile, which is like the Nokia mobiles and all things. So we should be very flexible for them in terms of the digital transformation journey. And sir rightly says the report of ICRA is total, when I see the market is 250 million smart meter has to be installed by 2025. So we need to take care of, like, still now we have done the 8 million of this smart meter installation, approved by 19 million are still pending. That has to be closed by, which is approved by the government also. So we have to be closed by 2025. Plus yes, technology is a pros and cons both. Yes, pros should be, we should use how to use the technology. Plus we need to also take care of educate the people, like I say the villages, somebody has to, the farmer, somebody is using the mobile, how to pay it. Second thing is the kiosk has to be there. So we should have the options also available. So where we can start the journey in the phase 1, phase 2 and the phase 3s.
Right. Thank you. Sharanbir.
Well, while we are discussing that how can we go global, I believe we are already we have already gone global, and the benefits which we as a country bring for the advanced metering infrastructure for smart metering is that we are not only focusing on the basic applications like hidden system or MDM. We as a industry has come up with a complete suite of application which includes over and above the basic application. For example, we have iconed the term SMOC, Smart Metering Operation Control Center softwares. We have never ever heard globally about these jargons or about these things. But when we talk about India, because we are going for a mass rollout and the kind of scalability which we are bringing in current softwares is unimaginable. So we are already global, and with this learning we are ready to go global, plus the localization and the auxiliary software which we have already brought on the table. So it's not only SMOC, we can talk about the AI or ML or the data being, how intelligently this data can be used. And we have seen that countries like Middle East are, 90% dependent on service provider from India. And that's only because of this, I mean, vast experience which all organization together we bring globally on table. So I think we are already global and we are definitely going in a good direction when we say global requirements or global penetrations. Yeah.
Pranjal ji.
Yeah, so in terms of globalization of smart meter, I think I agree with Sharanbir. We are already global in smart meter, and Indian smart meter manufacturers are doing really good at the international stage. One of the reasons could be that the India has a various amount of infrastructure challenges that they have overcome, and our terrain is also challenging, where the smart meter needs to be tested at minus 60 degrees Celsius in Ladakh, and the same meter has to be tested at 60 degrees Celsius in Thar and the rainforest of east. So our smart meter hardware is perfectly aligned with the requirement of the global stage. In terms of the platform, there is a lot that can be done, and I would like to differ from what David has says on the data use pattern. Previously, we were not checking phones and maps and wending out to market just like that. Now, almost maximum of the population has basically developed a habit of checking the Google map time to the office or time to the workplace before stepping out. And even now Google has also learned that this person requires this, so they are also on a fixed time they are saving the alert, 40 minutes to office, 40 minutes to work. So a lot can be done on the data side, and I believe the day is not far where we would be ordering AC services, we would be ordering washing machine services based on the historic data that our smart meter has generated. And in terms of data globalization and the platform upgradation, there is a lot that India can offer, because Indian software engineers are one of the best in the world, and we are basically leading the software industry in the world. So with all the smart meter in place, so what kind of revolution has happened in smartphone industry, where when all people have access to smartphone and smart app have now taken over the system. I believe with the platform, once all the smart meters are in place, so the smart platform and the software industry can take over it and make India really powerful in terms of power management and quality of power and distribution intelligence.
Great. Any Q&A from the participants? Then great. Thank you so much, panelists. Thank you for this fantastic.